Greetings, my friends. This is Maerlande. So, today's topic is how do I guess, analyze a nation, design a pretender. So, I have a method that I wrote. Whoops, that's not the one. Anyways, oh, well, this is cool stuff for looking for the picture for this one. But here we are. All right, pretender design and analysis. As you can see, I originally wrote this in 2020. This is the first page. You can see over here, the other pages are available. So I'm not going to try to follow this directly. It's been a long time, and I'm just going to see, you can go, okay, is he following what he said he does, or has it changed? I'm just going to go off memory. And the other part of this that relates is, second to that, is here's my very old guide to how to play monkeys. This is actually for using blood with them, which applies to Lanka, Bandar, and Patala. However, much of the same ideas are very similar for Kesa. So now that you've had a quick glance at those, I will put the links to those into the description. But let's start with, let's make a pretender. You can see I actually put up on the thumbnail, you'll see, I've got a picture of, let me show you here. Kesa. All right. Now, the first step, normally I would go through and I would analyze the units. We'll talk about that in a minute. But here we are, the Nataraja. That's the picture that I'm using for the thumbnail. And what I was looking at there in the Hindu deities. What I'm going to start with is one of my favorites. Actually, we're going to go with the monolith, and we're going to go with a pure scales build. So habitually, I go with 333s. But we won't do blood with Kesa, and I have not yet really done anything with glamour, so this is new to me. We may need blood to get what I want for bless effects, but let's just start off with simple bless effects. So we'll start with the favorite. What do I really want in... What I really want is Farcaster, so that means I need one more Astral. So let's get Farcaster. That's one I very much want. Where'd we go here? Farcaster. Okay, this is traditional. Now under Earth, actually what we're going to do is we're going to grab, I think we're going to grab a Fire Resistance. And under Air, I would like Swiftness, so I'll need one more air. Let's see if we can pull all this off. Now, all of this is based upon what I remember from early in 3. Then for water, note that because I have 3 in all of the elementals, I can take... Okay, before we grab the water bless, let's take a look. My plan is to work with Yavanna. Now, defensively, they're a 14. That's very good. So what can we get in Water Bless that would really help us? I would say Cold Resist. All right, now under Earth, my preference, a little extra strength. They don't need more strength to kill, but Reinvigoration is always excellent for your mages. So we get a little Fire Resistance, a little Cold Resistance. Now under Death, I would like... Actually, let's see if we can pull off Larger. All right, Larger. We got Larger. So we got -2 bless points left. So we're going to have to buy a little more something. And that would pay for what we got. So we need 2 more points. Now, Death is not priority, but we'll grab a little bit more. Okay, we're at 14 design points. So this is going to take some tricks. One more bless point. Well, a little extra glamour. Just gonna go with the little extra glamour. Now, first thing we can do, we can grab whatever points we can from heat. And I don't like doing drain on this nation. I don't really like drain at the best of times. We'll go with misfortune, and that lets us grab extra order. And we'll dump production. That's tradition. That should give us... Okay, and we can get 6 for Dominion. This should be more than sufficient. I'm not going to set a password because this is just testing. Okay, so we've got kind of a stats bless, not really a stats bless, but larger is stats, and just a general purpose helpful bless. None of this is incarnate, so we'll have it right off the bat. When the pretender wakes up, it'll be able to teleport, all kinds of great stuff. And what do we call him? I'm going to call him Obelisk. That is tradition. Oh, that's really boring. Oh well, whatever, it'll do for this. Okay, so we've roughed out one pretender. Now let's just rough out another idea entirely. Let's say we wanted to go with an awake expander. Now I don't know that I would... Where are we here? Sorry. So let's have a look at which ones are possible. I am very fond of the Devi of Darkness if you want to add blood, but that's not really super important. But one that used to be superb and a very big favorite of mine was the Bull. So with the Bull, what you're shooting for is the regeneration. We're going to need quite a lot here, so let's get... Actually, we could probably skip regeneration. Let's just check the Bull stuff. The Bull has trample, it has recuperation, and okay, this is standard berserk. So we want to pump its protection as much as we can, which is mean earth. So we could probably drop this down. Now let's see, fortitude, or let's go for fortitude. And how many bless points? We've got 2. All right. Force 5, poison resistant, resilient, strength of the earth. How much more can we grab enough nature to get regen? Oh gosh, no, regeneration is far too expensive. So let's just drop this back. That's 1 spare bless point. What if we just don't bother with any bless points other than fortitude? All right, now we need to do what we can here. Now, if this is an expander, then the idea is we're going to try to win fast. Oh yeah, and the other one, poison weapons, would be really kick if we could pull it off. Can we pull off poison weapons? So we got 2 bless points. I would need 2 more bless points. So that means either more earth, which would be very pricey. Okay, we kind of can pull that off. So let's see what else we could do here. In this case, we'll go for some drain. We'll dump the production. How high up can we get? 8. 8's a bit overkill. Let's grab 1 more scale. I'm gonna take it there. Okay, so this is my favorite name for the Bull. Bit of a pun there. Okay, so there's a couple of pretenders. And the next step is to seriously look at the units. So let's take a look at the units. We could do that here. Now, I am very, very familiar with the units. What I'm not familiar with is what's changed. So off the top, Marcata are a lot better than many people think. And part of the reason is the defense skill. The other part is the size. Now, I know the size points have changed. I believe, what is it? 10 points per square, so the 5 of them in this square. But what's really important about Marcatas, that's the Marcata Scout, not the Marcata unit. This is the one we want to talk about. What's important about the Marcatas, the high defense means they're hard to hit, and so they are really good at things like just tying up lances and cavalry. Lots of them in a square. The other thing is the sticks and stones don't hit for much, but it's 2 shots, and they got a lot, so they could shoot 15 times. Sure, they don't do much damage, but with the Dominion's random number, that could do some stuff. The other one is the Marcata Archers is what you start with, and they are really good as bait to draw things over to the edge of the screen. So we'll talk about that later on. Now, there's been some changes to archery. I still haven't really got a feel for how it works out, but Atavi are very cost efficient at 7 gold. And the big thing with archery is how many shots you can get off. If you want a little more defensive, you've got the sticks and stones on the Atavi infantry. Again, similar use, but they have a somewhat of a chance to parry. Then going off, I'm not a big fan of the Bandar archers. Reason is simple. Far more gold per shot. Yes, they hit harder, and they survive more, but the point is. On the other hand, the Bandar warriors with the sticks and stones can be excellent, or were. Again, we'll have to see how this works out in 5. If you want Bandars, and you need to hold line, and you have extra production, which normally you don't, the Bandar swordsmen do a good job. They don't have a helmet, but they've got more than human hit points. They're big, so not as many in a square. Some protection. Bucklers are not great parry, but it's something. But they do tend to stick around, and they hit hard. 23 damage, high strength. Attack is fairly good, defense is average. So they can work as an option. One thing about Kesa, no elephants. The Guyaka can be hard to use because they're naked and don't have any parry. One of the reasons I went for swiftness is that the point here is to get Yavanas into range of the archers before. Use bait like Marcata to soak up the arrows, rush them forward, and chop up the archers. They hit very hard. This kick is significantly better than you think. 15 damage, attack skill of 12, they hit. So basically they got 2 very solid attacks. And so you work with their strength is they hit very hard. They have awe, which means a lot of times they just won't be attacked. So the blasts you could do is either boost up their defense or you can increase their killing, but they kill just fine. Now the archers, I've heard some talk that these are not bad now with the right bless. So maybe we'll get around to that, but not at the moment. Now your core units you want. The Marcata Scout is a superb scout. So whatever possible. The Atavi Chieftain you can get in any forest. Plus that's where you can get your Atavis. It can be worthwhile to get a few Bandar commanders because of their improved leadership, but the real sweet spot, notice though they are, where's the commander points here? I know it shows, but the other one that's very useful is Guyakas to help you bless and to very good leadership, awe and everything else. So you get one at the start and they can be useful. Your core of research is your yogis. Extremely cost effective. All of them can communion, all of them with the right buffs can magic duel, so on and so forth. There's a ton of great things. Gurus add in more substantial power, especially with the bit of nature. So I buy as many of those as I can. And then Yaksha. Now, important thing here, these are not slow to recruit, or in other words, notice, commander points. They're 2 commander points. You can get 1 every turn. And Yakshini are also useful for the improved water magic. They're about the same. So you can use a Yaksha with some Yavanna. Now I think I'm finding that it's more than I used to use because of the increased sizes of defenders. So I'm looking at 10. Used to be able to get away with 6. But that testing is very premature, so we'll be watching over that as they do more testing. So that's a rough, very, very rough overview. I think I'll end here for today, for this video. Not necessarily today, but I'll do these in small pieces, and that way folks have questions, they can ask the questions. You can ask me on my Discord or in the comments on the YouTube, or, you can find me all over the place, Steam forums, any of those. So finish up here. Oh, one little caveat. There's been some talk about audio. I'm going to push this out without making a huge effort to separately edit the audio in Audacity. So if you find any issues with hearing me over the background sounds or whatever, let me know. I'll do a fine tune. Sometimes YouTube does weird stuff. So have a great day, and we'll see you again very, very soon. Take care, friends.